what we have here is current situation. This seems to be continuing on from the last reading, okay? So it looks like there's been a completion of a soulmate contract, a friendship, twin flame, or romantic partner, okay? Something went wrong here. And there's no more communication happening, right? At the moment, anyway. It seemed like it was nurturing, right? But there's a lack of that now because it ended, right? But we've got the feminine here who is feeling grounded, right? The feminine's growing her stability and security in her life, okay, since this split. On the bottom of this deck, we have soulmates, healthy choices, and obviously something went really wrong here. And there was a lot of hurt and pain involved, right? We've got burned bridges. So altogether, there seems to be a lack of trust, right? Here. Yeah, somebody's moved on and someone's feeling stuck. Okay, this is not good energy, okay? Well, it's complicated, I suppose. Right, so we've got, this is more like the temptation energy, because that's like the Ace of Wands, right? And then the watching, so I think the masculine is watching the feminine, or flip it round if it needs to go the other way, okay? They want to come back in because they don't like the completion of this. It's just like unacceptable or something unacceptable, right? To the, I'll just say the masculine, because the feminine looks grounded. So we'll see what Spirit wants you to know about this, okay? In the last reading, it was something to do with a divine intervention for the masculine and feminine, because you both had to learn your own lessons. It looks like the feminine was heading towards experiencing some sort of success, and the masculine was having a deep psychological change and a change of heart as well, okay? Which was going to take time, right? Blocked and obstacles on the bottom. So, there we have the divine masculine, okay? Love signs and meanings. An ex lover, old spark, okay? Yeah, it's like it's not really over emotionally, right? Even if you are separated from each other, like physically, it doesn't really seem to be over energetically, right? So we've got healing and releasing, twin flame, yeah, divine connection, right? You both feel still connected energetically. Relationship connecting, right? That's what I just said. Okay. Well, that's confirmation, okay? What's at the bottom of this? Obstacles, keeping secrets, and disputes. Okay, I'm feeling there's a bit of karma involved in this situation. Right. So, I'll get some charms. Can you see the bowl? I'll get some charms and put them on here and see what other information we can get about this. Okay. Right, the masculine does not like that this cycle has completed, right? Ran out of time and it closed. They are not accepting that well, okay? And we've got the sun here with a little commitment, Celtic knot. We've got the clock. and a little leaf, okay? Right, so it's like time ran out on this, it seems, right? But it's, like I said, it's as if this is supposed to be completed and over, but energetically it's still there, right? So the masculine now is heavily thinking about commitment, like how, hold on. Okay, the masculine is feeling trapped, right? And you're feeling creative, I think, or he wants to come up with a creative way somehow to get back into your good graces, I just heard, okay? So I don't know what's happened, I haven't looked into that, right? But the masculine does not want this to be over. They want to be happy with you and commit to you, but they feel trapped at the same time, okay? Well, we got blocked and obstacles over here. That might be some other reason why the masculine is trapped in his own life, right? So basically, time seems to have ran out, the thing's closed, but he feels trapped and wants to actually be with you and commit to you, okay? Right. Right, we've got the anchor, the mermaid, spiral, the bee, and the owl. Okay, that's what's happening. The masculine, it's like they really need the feminine to feel at peace, right? And grounded. The feminine knows how to be at peace and grounded, right? So the masculine can't get that on his own for some reason, okay? I think this masculine is working extremely hard to send signs to the feminine, okay? Signs to you somehow. But you're not there, so if you can see this masculine, they might be sending signs on social media or something like that, okay? Or telepathically, because they have the owl here. Okay. Working really hard because we got the bee, right? I think this masculine is desperately trying to get your attention here, sending signs of love towards the feminine. Hold on. Oh, they just feel like an ex, right? And they're watching the feminine grow and blossom and celebrate her life or existence or something. She's celebrating something, okay? Moving forward. So the masculine sees the feminine moving forward and they kind of feel left in the dust here, okay? I'm just explaining the energy, okay? So I'm not having opinions on this, I'm just reading the energy, that's all. Yeah, on healing and releasing, we got the Star Tarot card and the karmic loop. Okay, infinity symbol, whatever. Right. So, yeah, there is a lot of healing going on here. But there's karma that needs to be, like, completed and healed and released. I think maybe that's why this masculine is feeling so trapped with a little bird in the cage, right? Because, well, it feels like for the masculine, if there was a chance in the future, I'm not saying anything about that, right? I'm reading current energy, so if there was any sort of chance in the future for this masculine to be with this feminine, it looks like he has to go through some karma. And so does the feminine, but I feel the feminine's karma is good karma because she keeps blossoming and having reasons to celebrate moving forward, right? But the masculine seems in a bit of a dark place, feeling trapped and stuff. So I think he has some, like, a bit of heavy karma to pay. And the feminine has good karma coming in. Okay, so however long that would take, I don't know. Could be anything. But it's all in the name of healing, okay? Which is a good thing, because healing brings growth. Right, on the Twin Flame Divine Connection card, we've got the Lion and the World, okay? I'm just feeling like the Lion is representing there was an ego problem in this connection, right? An ego problem, and that's why it closed. I'll get something else, hold on. What else can you say about that? There's quite a lot more to say about that, hold on. Right, we've got the magic wand. This crystal purple heart. That came out in the last reading as well. We've got the feminine perfume bottle, okay, and the dragon. So what do we know from this? Right, I'm feeling like even although you two are distant, right, at a distance, the connection is strong still. Like you can feel it in the energy. I think the masculine is concentrating on the feminine a lot. Okay. So feminine might be feeling this. Oh yeah, that was in the last reading as well. Feeling the energy in your energy. Right, so there is love here. It is like a divine partnership. And there's the dragon of protection. So it's like this connection is actually protected, right? But like I said, you're both going through your own thing right now. Okay? I feel like the masculine might be trying to, get in touch. That was up here as well. Again, is it right? The masculine is heavily trying to get in touch with the feminine through energetic means, right? If there's anything that the masculine is doing that isn't right, according to divine law, I'm talking about any sort of magic or stuff like that, okay? Dark magic. Or I don't know anything about magic, okay? I'm just telling you this right now. I don't do any magic, like white magic, black magic, any of it. I don't know about it. All I know is energy, okay? But I feel like what this looks like to me is it could be some sort of, all right, I get it. It's kind of like a spell, right? I was just thinking a love spell earlier, but I think what they're actually trying to do is manifest the feminine to come back. Okay? But if the feminine isn't supposed to come back yet, then that will be closed out. for the feminine, because the divine are right in the middle of all this, remember? And they're not going to let things happen that aren't supposed to happen, okay? So I think you both do feel the energy connection, even although you're at a distance. But you're really supposed to be focusing on, like, the feminine is supposed to be focusing on what she's doing, and the masculine is supposed to be focusing on what he's doing, okay? But yes, it still does look protected, the actual connection. Maybe at a later date, things will be different, okay? Well, they will be, because energy is always changing and shifting. It's really a case of accepting where you're at right now, okay? Right, we've got protection on the relationship connecting, right? And an announcement. What's the announcement? We got the other heart now. Crystal heart. And Pisces. Okay, this is like, we've just like delved right into complete mystery here. It's like an overwhelming, mysterious love connection here that is protected by the angels, right? Yeah, that's it. So we've got the commitment, Leo, star, spoon, arrow, right? Moving forward, you're both supposed to be committing to yourself right now and following your own path and learning self-love. I think the feminine already knows that, right? But the masculine needs to learn self-love because they don't seem to know it. Because their energy keeps needing the feminine energy to like fix their energy, right? But that's not really how it should work. The masculine needs to learn how to be okay with his own energy, right? By taking care of his own mind, body and spirit, and his emotions. Like how to shine on your own. That seems to be what we're talking about, right now. Hold on. And it is saying again that this is closed out, this cycle. You must need to spend time apart for a while to everyone to get in their own place, right? Because eventually, if you go down one road and they go down the other, right? Learning your stuff, whatever it is you need to know, eventually when you're both in the right place, you'll meet again, okay? That just fell out when I was shuffling, so we'll take it. Knight of Cups. It's about expression, right? Expressing your feelings. Bottom of the deck we have the Five of Wands, okay. Let's see what's under there. Ace of Wands. Ten of Pentacles, okay. This is really the masculine energy, feeling really frustrated. Right, they're having an inner battle I think it's because they actually don't really know how to express themselves to the feminine. Right. So we have the Knight of Cups, the Fool, and the Empress. So we've got the divine feminine. Yeah, and if this was the masculine, they'd still be at the Knight stage, right? Knight level. And what they'd have to do is grow into Emperor status, or at least a king, to be with the Empress, okay? But putting that aside, if we're just doing a message for the feminine, then you are on this new path, okay? And doing something with expressing communication. This is like an astrology wheel right behind her there. Or she's kind of inside it, right? So you could be going on a path to do with astrology or something like that, something to do with the stars, okay, and expressing yourself in a good way. Yeah, it's the cycle is closing, right? Or it's closed. It is actually closed. And it's to find inner peace, right? And focus on like talents that you have. That could be a message for both of you, okay? To focus on talents that you have and recognize what you're good at and nurture it. Like really focus on your special gifts that you've got from God or the universe or whatever you want to call it, okay? And make something of it. That's what Spirit are saying. Like, try not, especially for the masculine, you know, because his focus is very on the feminine, but I mean, it's okay a little bit, but if you focus too much on someone else, it'll drain your energy. Okay, let's see what these have to say. Now we've got the rising sun, symbolising new beginnings and hope, right? And then the flowing river. Yeah, it's like adapting to life's journey, right? Because in life, things change a lot. And it's all twists and turns and things rarely go in a straight line. Okay. So being adaptable is the best talent you can have in this life. Adaptability, right? If you have adaptability, you'll always be okay. Because you're not stuck in a rigid idea. People who are like that do not do well when things change, right? Because life can be turned upside down at any moment. Bottom of the deck, we've got divine mirror, self-reflection and truth. Okay. So yeah, be adaptable and grow and move where you're called to move, right? Go by how you're feeling and where you're getting drawn to, as long as it feels right, okay? Okay, I'll just leave that there. Right, thank you very much for listening. I appreciate being here, and I'll see you next time, okay? Right, bye.